I can understand why, because she's paying for you to go out of her own money.
What did you do?
Kiss you.
Over there. Oh. Real cam tomorrow, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. You know, and stuff like that. It's just, I got home late and I don't want her to miss screaming.
How did you get home?
Because when we went, you know, I wanted to get stuff and we were just looking around and I
How did you, no, I mean, okay, you got home at the regular time. I thought you got home late, like,
from
late from,
school
yeah,
today. Didn't you
yeah,
didn't you call me early before I left?
yes.
Didn't I say I want to go to the store? Um,
Sorry, I was getting annoyed with that whole cam going out thing.
yeah, me too. I don't know why I was doing that. It's kind of a...
So, do you want me to just cam you off of Google Chrome? Just
If it
keep,
keeps doing that, tomorrow, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But if it don't, then we can cam still. But if so, then I'm here.
It might be
That would
because
be
of the snow, too.
it. How's... Yes, you had me off of your phone.
No, I'm going to ask her tomorrow about the Christmas concert thing, because I want to know everything. Because, you know, she's going to ask about, like, what time it is,
Yeah.
you know. So, you know, so. Just kiss me. I want you.
I want you to.
I love you.
Yeah, me too.
So you went. Did you even have the? Did you even have the solo thing today?
Yeah. She's gonna tell me tomorrow.
And will you tell me like what link it is? Will you send it to me
Yes, I will.
just in case?
Yes.
Because she said that no, she said last year that we could go, and she said maybe next year, but you didn't do it next year. So the maybe next year carries over to this year. You know, you know what I mean? You there? You there? Oh, okay, you're there. You know what I mean? You there?
I'm going to Atlanta Saturday. So when I come and stuff like that, so we can probably camp and stuff, and
What?
whenever you want to go. We're going to Atlanta for my birthday on Saturday. If that's okay with
Can
you.
I have you for your birthday?
Yes, you can.
You know what I mean, right?
Yes.
I know the reason why Kevin wasn't camming
Do you like
because he
gummies?
was. Yeah.
Do you do you like I don't know, the peaches like green gums? gummies. They like green. Do you like them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love you.
Just ask.
But do you want me to show you this?
What? Yeah.
Top 10 Fillmore things?
Yes.
And I will show you the episodes too.
Okay.
Yeah. Just kiss me. Kiss me. I'm gonna like this guy because I like the way this guy does shit. Hold on. I'm gonna watch the video then. Okay.
Good, Jen?
Kiss me.
I love you. Hey, Ma. Is everything okay, Jen? Jen.
Read the thing.
Yes.
Anyway, I know what Kevin was doing.
What was he doing?
He was doing that um God Sword from Scratch series. I looked it up online.
Oh. Okay.
What else? What else? What else? I'm sorry, I'm hyper. I just had a cookie.
It's okay. I like it.
That's the reason I'm like.
What kind of cookie did you have?
I don't know. Probably like an oatmeal cookie with I thought it was a sugar cookie because it was like you know how when they have sugar cookies where they put the frosting on it.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
What else? Um. Okay.
What?
It type something. Okay. Okay. Because sometimes when I'm on stream, it like takes a minute. Keep going. For real?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, why?
I love you.
Okay.
I love you.
Did you like that or something?
I love you.
No, did you like it or something?
I need you. I need you, man. You know.
Did you like that? Something when I
Yes.
said?
Yes. That's, I'm hyper. So let me show you. Let me show you the top
Yeah,
10.
but did you like it? Did
Yeah.
you like what I said though?
Yeah.
Yes, I need you in my life, too, Darren.
Yes. What? One.
Why what?
No. Videos. Like this. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool.
What is it? Is it you playing in the shared damn game?
It's a video quality report that's using the video I'm doing.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. View your result. View your results. I'm actually learn more. Never mind. Um, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah? Thank you for what?
Can you do that?
You're welcome.
When talking about great Disney TV shows, a few come to mind right away. Recess, The Barbarian, DuckTales, Gargoyles, Kim Possible, and more. And yet, one of the best animated series that Disney has ever produced, at least in my opinion, is always forgotten. Fillmore. Fillmore is about two middle school kids.
Let me fix the quality.
Okay. Thank you for streaming, Darren. What are you guys talking? Why did you ask if? I mean, was you guys going over the schedule for like
Yeah.
some?
Apparently, she called me like 20 minutes ago. But apparently, when any video is running and I have the door shut, I can't hear.
Can't hear it because
Yeah.
sometimes they get really
So
loud.
you have to like. No, the reason I shut the door is because I don't want, the noise to escape and then have grandma yelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she get mad at you?
So, no, like, one time I forgot to close the door and Grandpa did yell.
No, I'm saying she yelled at. Did she get mad at you for not coming out when she said to?
No, I mean, yeah, she did, kind of. But it's not my fault. I could not hear. Like,
No, it wasn't your
come
fault.
and get, like, actually come and get me. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Come and get you in that call.
Yeah,
You
come and get.
can't hear you well.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, come and get me.
Did you ask if you wanted me to go?
Talking about very Disney TV shows, I think we have
No, she.
mind right away. Recess, A
She asked
Barbarian,
if I
DuckTales, Gargoyles, Possible, and more. And yet, one of the best animated series that Disney has I've always forgotten, Fillmore. Fillmore is about two middle school kids, Cornelius Fillmore and his partner Ingrid III, as they solve crimes going on throughout the school as part of the school safety patrol. It's a pretty simple concept, but it's made fun by the parodies of their
I love you so much.
previous crimes and armchair tropes, memorable heroes and villains, surprisingly emotional moments, and top-notch voice acting. So, to celebrate how much I like this show, I'm going to do a top 10 of the best Fillmore episodes. Now, keep in mind, despite the fact that the series only has 26 episodes, this
Which is season 2.
list was really...
Which I wish they had two. I wish they had more seasons of this. Because if you remember this show, you remember how great it was. You know. You okay? Okay.
Entry into homes. The latest incident happened Tuesday afternoon on Garfield. Police say the men knocked on the door and walked right into the home uninvited. They then tried to sell the homeowner a vacuum.
Wait. Huh?
It's a bit uneasy about a solicitor at your door. Call them right away.
Well, tonight's search is on for the gunman who pistol whipped a motel clerk before digging through the register for money.
Well, it happened last night at the Super 8.
So psyched to get these. I read that their pillows really support your head and neck while you sleep. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Where are my pillows? My partner's bringing them up. That's probably him. Whoa! Wait! I just ordered 2 pillows. No, you ordered 200 pillows. What person orders 200 pillows? You. No, wait.
And I'm back. Yeah.
No, you need to take all your 98 pillows back.
Yeah.
What?
I'm back.
Connect with the intent filters
Okay.
will not be readable. At 40 years old, the Indian fleet is one of the oldest in the U.S. Air Force.
Are you gonna come back?
Yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to hear something.
In the stall.
Why, Amazon is asking you to bring your smartphone camera into the public bathroom. We'll explain coming up.
That doesn't sound good. It does.
I love you so much.
I love you so much too. Sorry, I just wanted to go fix something.
really hard to make. So if your favorite isn't on the list, just bear with me. That was like choosing between 26 Mile and Children's. Or in other words, don't get mad if your favorite isn't on the list. That said, let's start the countdown. South of friendship, north of honor. I like this episode quite a bit because it feels different from the average Fillmore episode. It doesn't take place at X Middle School. Instead, it takes place at Fillmore's former partner Lane's school. There isn't a lot of suspense around who did the crime. From the start, you know the corrupt patrol sheriff did the crime. Plus, other than Fillmore and Lane, all all the characters are new and never appear in the series again. So because that, it feels the most different from all the other Filmore episodes, which is both a good and bad thing. On the one hand, Wayne's character is probably the highlight of the episode. He's mentioned in other episodes and cameos once in a while, but this is the only one where he's given any significant screen time, and it's worth it. When Wayne was at X, he was the guy who did everything by the book, but when he moved to the South, he ended up being in a school with a ridiculously corrupt safety patrol which exploited the students for money and personal gain. He tried to fight it, but the sheriff made life a living hell for Wayne's partner, who was forced to switch schools.
I've tried, so try again. Look, I'll help you. Fillmore, the last time someone helped me, it got bad. Real bad. Emily. It made her life so miserable she transferred out. She risked everything to help me, and I got her thrown off the force.
After that, Wayne just kept his head down and took the gifts people gave him and just tried to stay out of the way.
So quit the force. Bring them down from the outside. If I quit, guys like that pig-napping Tyler would take over. I can't let that happen. I may not be much.
Darren, are you okay?
I'm still here.
Alright. What is it? Oh, this is that. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I'm all this school's got. So you just keep quiet. Look the other way. Take bribes. I do what I have to do.
With Fillmore arriving to visit him, Wayne finally has the chance to redeem himself. And the most enjoyable part of the episode is watching Wayne and Fillmore working together again to take down the sheriff. Well, that's great and all, the downside is the villain isn't compelling at all, but the sheriff is doing what he does for money in video games, or in other words, just plain old greed. As well as this doesn't take place in the familiar locations of X Middle School. There aren't any of the familiar characters you know and love, which makes the episode a bit of a strange watch. Still, it does have a fun mystery about how the crime, which was stealing a batch of pralines from a vault, was done, and the other side characters are at least decent. So the episode definitely deserves its number 10 place. I've forgotten yesterday. One of the most common tropes with hard-boiled cop dramas is having the main character be a reformed criminal. And Fillmore fills this exactly. He used to be one of the biggest criminals in X, but unlike his compatriots, he turned to the good side. And this episode deals with him being tempted to go back to the good old days. The premise is that there's been some stolen term paper keys, and Fillmore has to find them right away. But after someone sabotages Fillmore's life to try to take him out, Fillmore has to get back in contact with one of his old criminal friend, Sonny, to find out who's doing it and to get the term papers back. The real compelling part about this episode is Fillmore questioning whether to do things by the book or to just say screw it and do things your own way. Near the end of the episode, Fillmore discovers who took the term papers and where they're stashed, but he needs a search warrant in order to nab them. Fillmore's old criminal friend convinces Fillmore to take the papers without the warrant after Fillmore is framed by someone for a crime and temporarily suspended from the force. He goes in and takes the papers and brings them to Sonny, who then reveals that he was playing Fillmore for a sucker the whole time just so he could turn papers for himself and make money off them. But it turns out that Fillmore knew what Sonny was up to and has a safety patrol ready to nab him. Sonny gets caught and the episode ends. So it's not a particularly innovative plot, but what makes it good is the stuff with Fillmore and Sonny. Chemistry between the two shows the audience how close the two worlds were and how Sonny is able to get Fillmore to do more and more questionable things in order to get the papers. The
Mom,
relationship between the two is certainly the best part of the episode.
What?
talking to you with my mom. Sorry.
And it really shows that no matter how nice a criminal is, they're still a criminal. And they could easily just be using you for their own ends. And it also brings up the question of how far an officer should go to solve a crime. Tossing some good lines from Fillmore.
Officer Fillmore, do you realize the importance of recovering that catalog of stolen term papers? Do you realize your mama dresses you like a soap bucket?
That's you, Darren.
Do that line. I mean, I want to... That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has a scene. He gets caught and the episode ends. So it's not a particularly innovative plot, more and more questionable things in order to get the papers. The relationship between the two is certainly the best part of the episode, and it really shows that no matter how nice a criminal is, they're still a criminal. They could easily just be using you for their own ends. It also brings up the question of how far an officer should go to solve a crime. Tossing some good lines from Fillmore.
Officer Fillmore, do you realize the importance of recovering that catalog of stolen term papers? Do you realize your mama dresses you like a soap bucket?
Easily the
That's funny.
most gruesome bite destruction I've ever seen in a cartoon.
Oh snap! I didn't even know that happened.
In this episode,
The bike goes into a tree.
What?
The bike goes into a tree cover.
That would be
definitely. A cold day. In most episodes, Henry is working with someone else, whether it be Ingrid and the rest of State Patrol, Wayne, or even criminals. But in this episode, he has to deal with four ne'er-do-wells all by himself inside of an empty school. Fillmore is in this situation because these four students want to steal the answer key for an upcoming and brutally difficult pre-algebra test. And Fillmore decides to stay the night in the school and stop them. But the next day, the town is hit by a snowstorm, and since no one can make it to the school since the entire town is shut down, Fillmore has to stop these poor delinquents from stealing the answer all by himself without any outside intervention. Much like the episode Dodgeball City from Recess, in which Gus stopped being a whiny bitch and actually did something cool. In this episode, we finally got to see Fillmore be a badass. Or as much of a badass as a preteen and North Sash could be. That's really what makes this episode for me, with Fillmore sneaking around and just plain messing with these guys.
He's here. He's there. Everywhere.
I say, are we hunting him, or is he hunting us?
Of course, right at the end, things turn quote-unquote serious with a hostage negotiation between a goldfish and an answer key. But more than anything, it's a really fun episode. The one gripe I have with this episode is it's really creepy and downright uncomfortable side plot with a feral wanting to be able to see what its butt looks like and try and
Seriously,
what?
people to
would you want to see what your own ass looks like?
Not really. You?
No. Although you have a fine butt, you know.
You like to stare at naked there?
Yeah. I love you.
Love you too.
Sorry. But the reason I'm bringing this up
Okay.
is, would you want someone to take a picture of your butt
No.
so that
No,
you can?
it's not.
Yeah.
take pictures of his butt for him.
You know what's frustrating? You can't really see your own butt. Feral.
I love you.
Love you too. Why is it? Why are you like laughing and up? You.
No. I'll replay this. I'll replay this part. Elfaro is the comic relief of the Force.
Right at the end, things turn quote-unquote serious.
No, but let me show you that one part where he's like,
Us with a hostage negotiation between a goldfish and an answer key.
let me show you the episodes after this. But I couldn't find one where the quality was right, so maybe I just have to look upon. Maybe I just have to look.
More than anything, it's a really fun episode. One gripe.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, people talking to you.
Huh.
Yeah,
Well,
people talking to you.
I just asked Cheyenne if she was going tomorrow because she went home.
Is she going tomorrow?
Well, she kind of stayed home.
Okay, who else is on the choir? Who else is on the choir? Besides
A lot of people.
Okay, anyone that you like? Because the last time you didn't like being.
Well, but Haya ain't gonna get to go anyway. She only joins for the school, but that's it. And then we got Brittany,
What do
which is
you
a friend,
What do you mean school part?
because she can't come out. We do one for school too, Dan.
Oh, all right.
Have of this episode is it's really creepy and downright uncomfortable side plot. Although Farrell wanting to be able to see what his butt looks like and trying to still listen to people think he has his butt for him.
You know what's frustrating? You can't really see your own butt. Farrell. I mean, sure, you might catch a glimpse of it in the mirror now and then, but you never really know what it looks like. I mean, really. You know what? I'm gonna pretend you didn't just ask me that. Come on, Dama. Just one picture.
Just saying it feels kind of wrong, especially considering they're underage kids. But other than that bizarre side story, the episode is fast-paced, has a good message about honesty and integrity, and has Fillmore being a badass. What more could you want?
Next stop, Armageddon.
Fillmore, unlike a lot of other kid shows, is a show that tries to be funny and actually succeeds. And where this show gets the most laughs, at least for me, is the way it's.
I love you.
Well, me too. I love you so much.
I'll tell her that you want to go.
I want you to go because I want you to see Miss Gibbets because it's gonna be our last year, and plus I want you to see something that you've been wanting to go to since I told you everything.
Yeah, because like I want
and
to
everything.
go.
It was like last year you couldn't because they didn't let me in it because they wanted the other kids that are brand new. But this year, all not much brand new kids wanted to join, so I got to join, and I want you to be able to go since it's her last year anyway.
You're not doing that much next year. She's not doing it next year.
Yeah, she's retiring.
Oh God. Okay, I didn't know that. I'll try to make up. Like,
Yeah, like a couple times.
I can go to the other. Like I want to know like when it is, or what time it is, so I know. So that when
I will
if
tell you
Grandma
something,
asks,
so I'm gonna ask her. Oh, okay. Hmm.
I love you.
Love you too. You're off full screen, or whatever you call it.
I am?
Share screen. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't even
I
do
wasn't
it.
sure. Yeah, I am. Kind of figured that.
Okay. Just give me a sec. I wish you could even freaking tell me. Like, if it had a notice, I would know. Like, you're off full screen.
Oh.
Did you mean to
Right.
take this off?
You okay?
Yeah.
Why did you make that? Karen, you're fine. Why you ask why?
I'm just ending you today. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm just ending you today. I'm sorry.
It's alright. I'm into you too.
You are so not like any other girls.
You're somehow like the other boys.
No, if I would probably be creeped out.
Well, you know what? Then they don't love you like that. They didn't love you. They didn't love you like that. I do.
I know you
I love
do.
you too. I didn't know what I did for you.
Be able to parody real-world crimes and turn them into something that would exist in a school.
Can you see that, or is it not on me?
Yeah, I can see it.
This is it. Waferitas from Paraguay. The exact same size and weight of your standard American quarter. No vending machine in the world can tell the difference.
And in this episode, they managed to take something incredibly sad and heart-wrenching and turn it into something incredibly the most serious way that's honestly one of the funniest things in the whole series. So anyway, what happens in the episode? Well, Fillmore ends up accidentally ruining Principal Folsom's surprise birthday.
Weight of your standard American quarter. No vending machine in the world can tell the difference.
And in this episode, they managed to take something incredibly sad and heart-wrenching and turn it into something incredibly childish. And they do it in the most serious way that's honestly one of the funniest things in the whole series. So anyway, what happens in the episode? Well, Fillmore ends up accidentally ruining Principal Folsom's surprise birthday party trying to catch a crook. So Fillmore and Ingrid are put on convention duty and have to oversee a model train convention. Convention duty is pretty boring, since most of the time you just stand around and do nothing. But of course, since this is an episode of Fillmore, something goes terribly wrong. In this case, a horrific and just plain over-the-top model train crash. Every time I see this scene, I just lose this. It takes something as terrifying and horrific as a train derailment and turns it into something so silly and insignificant, and yet still treats it like it's a horrible disaster. Hell, when O'Farrell goes to take pictures of the crime scene, he can't stomach looking at the horror of the crashed trains.
Fillmore, thanks for having my back, but I'm a 7th grader. I can handle it. Oh, merciful pancakes. Did I just say pancakes? Oh, why did I say pancakes? I've got to go somewhere that's not here.
So in short, the train wreck scene is the highlight of the episode for me, but the rest of the episode certainly isn't a slouch. There's an important subplot with Fillmore having to deal with the loss of his fish, Polonius, who I like to think was named after Polonius monk, but I digress. Fillmore isn't able to get over the death of his fish until he reads a book that tells him that by grieving for someone's death, it kills you as well, and that it's best to move on. This subplot is a good message for kids about grief and loss that's well spoken, and that actually ties into the main plot rather nicely. Along with all that, the villain is a good one, with a relatable motive, and he is making so well. With a hilarious parody of a real-world disaster, an emotional undercurrent, and that saxophone, this episode certainly earns its number 7 place on my list.
Ingrid Third, Public Enemy, number 1.
One of the elements that holds the series together is the partnership between Ingrid and Fillmore, which can be seen in practically every episode. They have different personalities, but their passion for justice really ties them together. After watching a few episodes, it makes you wonder how they met each other, and this episode shows how they met and became partners. What happens is that Fillmore's partner, Wayne, yes, the same Wayne from number 10, switches schools and Fillmore is given a new partner, Parnassus, who really only wants to be on the safe patrol so that his college application looks good. While Fillmore and Parnassus are in the school, a massive stink bomb goes off, and it looks like Ingrid third. Even though Fillmore doesn't think that Ingrid did the crime, as the episode goes on, it seems more and more likely that she was the one responsible for the chemical weapon. But Fillmore puts his trust in Ingrid, and they're able to find out that Parnassus was behind the stink bomb, and that he framed Ingrid because he was jealous of her being the smartest kid in school. Before Ingrid came to the school, Parnassus was the brightest student at X. So when Ingrid arrived and stole his position, he wanted to frame her for a crime and have her expelled so that he could continue his tenure as the school genius. Fillmore and Ingrid go to the school to find Parnassus setting up another stink bomb. This leads to a very claustrophobic chase scene inside a bunch of tires. In a strange twist for a Fillmore episode, the villain actually manages to get away, and Parnassus gets its friend Bud to take the fall for him. Even though Parnassus gets away, Ingrid is still cleared of all charges, and she becomes Fillmore's partner. This is certainly an important episode in the series, since it sets up how Ingrid and Fillmore met and became partners. We also get a little insight into Fillmore's former partner, Wayne. Actually, this episode sets up the previously mentioned episode Self-Friendship Point of Honor really well. Besides that, this episode has a really strong message about not judging a book by its cover. While certainly not a more unique to this show, it's really well done in this episode since it shows how someone that seems like a delinquent can be a good person, or how someone who's seemingly friendly can really be stabbing them in the back and lying in your face.
Listen, you're
I love you
smart.
so much.
People might think this person looks these ways, so they have to act that way. They talk like this, so they have to do that. I ain't that easy, man. You've got to dig deeper. I wouldn't be here if someone didn't do that.
It's also a little refreshing to see an episode where the hero doesn't necessarily win and where the villain doesn't necessarily. A solid origin story episode that answers a lot of questions and has a good moral for kids, done in a unique way. Jamal Pascal. One of the best parts of Fillmore has to be the villains. Many other kids' shows just have one-dimensional, purely evil villains, which quite honestly feel pretty bland. Fillmore's villains, on the other hand, feel more fleshed out with relatable motivations and personality outside of just puppy-kicking evilness. And this episode has one of the best in the whole series, Randall Julian. But before I get too ahead of myself, the episode goes like this. All the bathrooms in X have been renovated with things like motion-sensing toilets and the like. But when the new bathrooms are shown off, someone vandalized the stalls with a permanent marker. And it's up to Fillmore and Ingrid to find out who defaced the stalls and bring them in for justice. Now, before we get to the villain, I just want to say that this episode feels the most Fillmore episodes on this list. It shows the less action side of the technique work with them analyzing the handwriting on the graffiti to find out who might have done the crime. It shows that policing a school isn't all epic chase scenes in action, that there's a quieter side to it all. As well, there's some genuinely funny moments when Fillmore and Ingrid are questioning some modern art students.
I call it the interrogation of self. You don't get it, do you? You just see a duck, right? It's not just a duck. You know what I'm saying? It's 700 coats of black marker. You know what I'm saying? It's like the layers of the human soul.
This play is made from oatmeal hummus and unshelled buckwheat. Let's get back to the bathrooms. I can't help you there. I don't believe in indoor plumbing, and I have never set foot. Let's go back. I always go out. Johnny.
But of course, the real highlight of the episode is the villain. Now, in this episode, there's actually two villains, Robin Spencer and Randall Julian. Robin is the one who defaces all the stalls, so she can have brushed steel ones put in instead, and help her career along to eventually becoming class president. As a villain, she's alright and her actions are well justified, but compared to Randall, she's nothing. Now we get to the real meat and potatoes of this episode, the true villain, Randall. Randall used to do macaroni art and had a small following who liked his art. But over and over in competitions, his fan base grew smaller and smaller, so he decided to become Flavor Saver, the most notorious tagger in ex-middle school history, and takes every bathroom in the school except one, the one in the teacher's lounge. Fillmore catches him before he can, and Randall has to stay in solitary confinement. Fast forward in time to the events of this episode, and Fillmore goes to him to analyze the handwriting of the new Tager Stainless. He helps them, but later manages to escape and prepares to finish his masterwork scrawling on the teacher's lounge stall. Fillmore confronts him and gives a really great speech on how Randall has ruined his artistic ability just so he could be famous.
That's not a masterpiece, Julie. That's just noise. Anybody can scrawl a stone. But they still have a few of your macaroni collage hanging in the library. Those pieces move people. Jay, they still move people, man.
Is that why the judges at the county art fair placed my art third, placed my art fourth, placed my art honorable mention? This is beyond judgment. No one can ignore this.
Oh, so that's how it's going to be. Get attention any way you can, right or wrong. Then why don't you go ahead and write your real name? Don't hide behind some saber tag. Why don't you go ahead and write Randall Julie?
Fine, Fillmore. I will. I will.
No, I don't think you will. Because then everybody will know the score. There was this real artist who gave up touching some of the people to hurt all of the people. Because he wanted to be famous. Because he forgot what real art was all about. For the sake of expressing yourself.
Randall Julian is definitely the highlight of the episode, and throw in all the other elements previously stated and a surprisingly funny parody of the Silence of the Lambs. You have a stellar episode that certainly earns its place on this list.
A dark score.
Bullying has always been an issue at school, no matter where you've been. At some point in time, everybody has either been a bully or been bullied. So oftentimes, kid shows have an episode about bullying. Most of them are pretty lame, just telling you to either tell a teacher or just walk away. The only two shows I can think of that did it right were Recess with the episode Gus's Last Stand, and Fillmore with this episode. The story this time is that all of the bullies around X are being bullied themselves by mysterious assailants, but the people the bullies usually pick on have an airtight alibi. The episode spends most of it in seeing them being humiliated in front of their peers in various ways. At the end of the episode, Fillmore finds out that the victims of the bullies decided to band together and form a bully payback squad, with each person taking out another's bully. Fillmore convinces them to stop what they're doing, and they all go to detention. It's a pretty simple episode, but it perfectly discusses the issue of bullying better than anything I've ever seen. It talks about how there's really no easy solution, and how there will always be bullies, and always be victims.
We're only doing what's right. Wrong. You're making yourselves feel bigger by making them feel smaller. So what are we supposed to do? Just sit back and take it? Try talking to a teacher. Or just watching out for each other? I don't know. What I do know is that this isn't going to solve anything, man. It's worked so far.
But pretty soon, the bullies are going to band together and fight back against you. When's it going to end?
You think you can stop, but you can't. Only all of us can. If everybody bands together and takes a stand, they'll listen. They'll listen because they have no choice.
This episode treats kids like they actually have a brain in their heads. So tell a teacher the second something happens instead of standing up for yourself. Not much else to say other than that this episode teaches more about bullying than anything short of it will.
This savior, a snitch.
Man, you must have a stellar series if this episode barely cracks the top 3. The plot this time is that Fillmore is framed for destroying a statue of the principal made out of macaroni. And because the principal holds him as enacting a new 3 strikes you're expelled policy, and because Fillmore has done wrong in the past, he might be expelled. The principal gives him until his afternoon hearing to clear his name, but it looks like Fillmore's out of options, until he remembers that a small-time criminal named Augie saw him getting set up. Fillmore tracks down Augie, who refuses to testify for him, but soon the people who set up Fillmore hunted down Augie to keep him quiet, and Fillmore and Ingrid have to protect Augie and try to make it back to the school, while also trying to convince Augie to do the right thing and prove Fillmore's innocence. This episode does a lot of things right. It has one of the most over-the-top chase scenes in anything I've ever seen, with Fillmore and Ingrid on pogo sticks chasing down Augie, who is riding a wheelbarrow.
Hey, our red donation! I will now! It's like total heart.
Also worth noting is that this episode actually provides commentary on a controversial real-world law, the 3 strikes law in California, where they criminals at a certain level, they go to jail for a long time, no matter how long the gap in line between those crimes was. Well, I'm not going to give my personal opinion on how such a law is wrong and how it could hurt reformed criminals who have been framed or set up for a crime. None of the other episodes in the series deal with such a specific law, and it helps this one stand out. There's also little to no investigation in the episode. Once Fillmore and Ingrid find Augie, it's almost entirely a non-stop chasing from that on. I also like the message the episode puts across, that everyone is some artist like Augie, that they should all be treated the same way with no preference to one or the other. It's a good message for anybody, kids or adults, and the episode delivers its moral well. And to top it all off, there's an organ solo. A freaking organ solo.
Where are we going? Just trust me, man.
Hello, won't you put the top line? And the other elements in the episode certainly help it to earn its number 3 position on this list.
Masterstroke of malevolence.
This episode is a lot like South Friendship North of Honor in that it doesn't take place at X Middle School. Instead, it takes place in an art center. However, unlike any other episode in the series, the events of the episode don't take place over a few days or even an afternoon. Once Fillmore, Ingrid, and everyone else arrive at the art exhibit, everything happens in real time, which makes sense if you know what happens in the episode. What happens this time is that Fillmore, Ingrid, O'Farrell, and some other students are on a tour of the art museum when the power goes out and someone defaces a painting with a mustache. The resident art restorer can only save the painting if he knows what kind of permanent marker defaced the painting. And Fillmore and crew only have 20 minutes to find out who scrawled on the painting and to save the artwork. Because of this episode feels more tense than any other of the series. Because in other episodes, there never feels like there's a major deadline. Even during the chase scenes, you know in the back of your mind that even if the villain escapes, they still have to go back to school the next day and the safety patrol can have them then. But in this episode, the villain just has to obey Fillmore and Ingrid for 20 minutes to achieve their evil goal, making things actually feel high stakes. The pacing is also spot on. Once the scrolling happens, the tension just never stops, relaying just how tense Fillmore and Ingrid must be feeling as they're trying to solve the case with a room full of potential suspects. And really, this episode might have been number 1 if it had not been for the ending. Now, I won't spoil the ending, because the mystery is one of the most important factors. When Fillmore and Ingrid do find the culprit, the villain has an interesting and even understandable motive. But Fillmore manages to get the marker from them in a way that makes absolutely no sense at all. And anyone who's seen the episode knows exactly what I'm talking about. Despite the pretty weak ending of the episode, the rest of it is completely top tier, with great atmosphere, tension, and a great chase scene. This episode most assuredly takes the number 2 place on this list.
Play on, Maestro, play on.
As I mentioned at the start of this video, making this list was really hard to do, choosing between all the different episodes. When I started going through the whole series, I knew right from the start that this would be number 1. The story is great. There's a gaming convention going on at X, and a new games console, the Ultravox, is being shipped off. But someone sets up a ridiculously complicated Rube Goldberg-like set of steel machine. The maestro, named Arthur, gets caught trying to make off with it, and it looks like the crime is solved. But when a copycat pulls off a similar crime and steals the Ultravox, Fillmore has to find out who the copycat is and find the stolen Ultravox. To be honest, this would be an average episode of Fillmore, which isn't necessarily a bad thing at all, if it weren't for one thing: the villain. Much like how Randall Julia made his respective episodes so much better, Arthur is easily the best part of the episode. To him, everything is a game. One level is stealing a wings in disguise. The next one is stealing the Ultravox. Even playing the safety patrol for suckers is just a bonus level to him. And when Fillmore and Ingrid find out that Arthur is behind the copycat crimes that confront him, he just captures them in another overly complicated trap and sets out even though his mom bought him an Ultravox. He had started a new game, theft, and had to keep going to the next level that he had to win. He even asked out a bunch of girls on a date the same night just for fun, as a little, you guessed it, game. And if that's not enough, he's so crazy that he actually leaves clues for the safety patrol that lead them to him. And he only does this because in games the creators always give hints to the players. Honestly, he's one of the most violent, messed up villains in the history of children's programming. And whenever he's on screen, you always feel nervous because you have no idea who he's playing next. And once Arthur puts all his cards on the table, Fillmore gives another great real talk. This time about how seriously screwed up Arthur is.
I wanted to stop, but I couldn't. I tried.
I'd stolen the Ultrabots, won the game. But when you two asked me to help catch myself, well, that was the bonus level. I could play without even stealing anything. I could win and win.
I don't see a winner. I see a Lotus like to games. There are people in this world, Maestro, not bots. You're not living like a man. You're just playing. You're just playing yourself.
Even with all the stuff with Arthur the Maestro, the rest of the episode isn't a slouch. Yeah, I said it's mostly an average episode, but an average Fillmore episode is still really good. How video games take over people's lives, the sad side of console wars, and a little bit about fanboyism to boot. Sure, there's the odd, painful joke here and there.
Hold your horseshoes!
But overall, this is an absolutely brilliant episode, and definitely my favorite episode of Disney's Fillmore. Thanks for watching.
Okay. Now let me see if I can find a better one. Okay. Let me see the intermutual thing.
What's your hamster doing? Where's the guy?
Under there.
Get the blanket. You got him cuddled. Where's Hound Dog at?
Yes, it's real gone.
What, you have to go?
I went to the store to get mom some, but I wanted to get the kids something.
It's not coming in right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, why is it going? The internet ain't coming in.
Let me just see something real quick here.
What? What do you want to say?
Fillmore, I'm on it.
And now, Fillmore. Today's episode, The Currency of Doubt. Act 1, A Dance of Deceit.
1, 2, 3,
Come on. Can't call morning?
In my country, you will hold her up all day. Good for muscles.
All day? Ouchie was in the classroom.
You have smart mouth. What good for? Put her down, Toby.
Okay, just let me check something. Um. Um. hmm.
I'm tired. Had a really rough day. What are you checking? Dude, can you hear me? Dan.
Pizza. So,
Now?
no, in a little while, I'll leave, but you might want to keep yourself prepared to leave here in about 15 minutes
Okay.
so that we're not calling, because I won't call you. You're
Okay.
home right enough when you want to?
Yeah.
Even one.
Dan,
Did you hear that?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Did you take me off?
Yeah, I just took you.
You don't have to mute me. There's no need to mute. Why do you mute?
I gotta go and be ready. So I'm gonna.
Are you gonna say goodnight to me or
Yeah. On cam.
when?
Now.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying you don't have to mute me.